my passionate and loyal Scorpio friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Scorpio, there is a quiet friction in your chest this week, a sense that something in you wants to break free, yet you're not entirely sure what that is. It's as if you've been carrying a silent question, one that hovers just beneath the surface, coloring the background of your days. There may be a restlessness you can't quite name, a tug from somewhere deep inside that asks why things must remain as they are. Perhaps you notice it in the small moments, a subtle impatience with routines, a flicker of envy when someone else takes a chance, the way you catch yourself daydreaming at the edge of a conversation. It's not loud, this tension, but it's persistent, like a thread pulling at the fabric of your comfort. You may feel both drawn to change and wary of what it might disrupt. There's an urge to step into something new, but the shape of it is still unformed. And so you hover in this in-between, aware of the potential for transformation, but not yet ready to declare it out loud. This is a week where emotional undercurrents run deep, even if your outward composure remains steady. The world may not see it, but inside you are on the verge of a gentle rebellion. There is a spark alive in you now, even if it flickers quietly behind your eyes. The Page of Wands speaks to that part of you that is both curious and cautious, eager to reach for something more yet hesitant to leave the familiar behind. You might find yourself sensing possibilities everywhere, small glimmers of inspiration that nudge you to pay attention. It could be the sudden interest in a new idea, a book you're drawn to, an unexpected conversation that leaves you thinking long after it ends. Yet with this inner state, there's often a subtle tension, the excitement of beginnings mixed with the vulnerability of stepping into unknown territory. It's the energy of wanting to explore, but also the awareness that in doing so you become visible, seen in your rawness, your hope, your uncertainty. This week you may notice your emotions shifting more rapidly than usual. There is a lightness in your curiosity, but it brushes up against old questions about whether you're ready to risk disappointment. The Page of Wands is not about grand gestures. It's about the moment you let yourself wonder what else could be possible. Perhaps you feel a little impatient with your own hesitance, or surprised by how hungry you are for something that feels alive. There might be flashes of self-doubt, but they are matched by a stubborn optimism, a refusal to let your dreams dissolve into routine. You hold both, a longing for adventure and the instinct to protect yourself from missteps. This balancing act creates an unspoken tension, the desire to move forward, tempered by the memories of times risk felt costly. Even so, you can sense that something in you is already moving, even if you're not entirely sure where it will lead. This is a week where your inner landscape is defined by possibility, a willingness to consider, to imagine, to edge closer to what you want, without demanding certainty. The Page of Wands is that first breath of spring after a long winter, a soft invitation to begin, even if just in thought. You may not have the answers yet, but you are awake to the question, and that is enough to set something in motion. It is from this restless curiosity that your path begins to shift. When you start noticing the spaces where you long for more, you naturally begin to search for what might fill them. The tension between yearning and caution becomes a quiet engine, propelling you to consider new directions. Small choices take on new meaning. You may find yourself drawn to opportunities you once overlooked or feeling the need to make changes in how you spend your time or energy. The momentum isn't forced, It arises gently, almost imperceptibly, as your inner questions seek an outer answer. The sense of possibility you feel opens doors, even if you are not ready to walk through them yet. The shift is subtle at first, but it is real, your inner state shaping the landscape of your week. As the days unfold, this dynamic finds its way into the tangible world. The Page of Pentacles marks a moment when intention meets opportunity, and your curiosity takes a more grounded form. You may feel the urge to learn something new, to invest attention in a project, or to revisit a goal you set aside. External circumstances might present you with small but meaningful choices, an invitation to collaborate, a chance to develop a skill, a task that demands your patience and care. These are not the sweeping changes you sometimes crave, Scorpio. Instead, the energy is steady, practical, and alive with potential. There is a gentle pressure in this path, one that asks you to engage with the details rather than race ahead to outcomes. You might notice moments where you are tempted to rush or grow frustrated with slow progress. The friction comes in the form of everyday obstacles, a schedule that feels too tight, the uncertainty of trying something unfamiliar, the vulnerability of being a beginner again. Yet beneath these pressures, there is a sense of quiet satisfaction in the effort itself. Small steps feel meaningful. Each bit of progress is its own reward, even if the larger picture remains unclear. Momentum builds as you commit to the process, however modest the beginnings. You may find that the act of paying attention, of caring enough to show up for something new, brings a sense of purpose. There's a humility in starting from scratch, but also a quiet pride in being willing to try. The Page of Pentacles reminds you that growth is not always dramatic. Sometimes it's the willingness to be present, to take the next logical step, that matters most. Friction becomes fuel for learning. The path is not without its obstacles, but each challenge is an invitation to deepen your engagement with what you value. By the end of the week, you may notice that what felt tentative has become more tangible, grounded in the reality of your effort. Yet the potential for transformation doesn't unfold on its own. It depends on your willingness to meet the moment as it comes, to engage with both your hopes and your hesitations. The tension between longing and action is not something to solve, but something to witness and respond to. The path asks for your steady attention, for a commitment to the process rather than the outcome. It is your conscious engagement that shapes what becomes possible, not the circumstances themselves. When you bring awareness to the interplay of curiosity and caution, when you allow yourself to take small steps without demanding perfection, you open the door to a deeper kind of growth. The journey is shaped as much by your inner landscape as by the opportunities you encounter along the way. This is where your potential truly emerges. The Chariot appears not as a guarantee of arrival, but as an invitation to claim your sense of direction. There is a feeling of alignment this week when your intentions and actions begin to move together, even if the pace is slower than you'd like. You may notice a new confidence building, born from the simple act of showing up for yourself again and again. It is not about force or speed. It's about the clarity that comes from knowing what you care about and choosing to move toward it, step by step. This growth is quiet but unmistakable. You sense that you are capable of steering your course, even when the road is uncertain. The Chariot's invitation is to recognize your agency, to know that while you cannot control every outcome, you can decide how you respond to the challenges and opportunities before you. It is a call to bring your whole self to the journey, your doubts, your dreams, your determination. In doing so, you find a deeper source of strength, one that is not dependent on external validation. The reward is not a specific achievement, but the steady, lived confidence that you are capable of navigating change on your own terms. Growth, for you this week, is about honoring both your ambitions and your vulnerabilities, finding a sense of direction that feels authentic, even if it is not yet fully defined, All three cards, Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and the Chariot, move together in a quiet dance, each one echoing a different aspect of your experience. You begin with curiosity, the restless longing for something more. This inner spark becomes the gentle engine of your week, giving rise to a path shaped by small choices and steady attention. The process is not always comfortable. There are moments of tension and friction, places where progress feels slow or uncertain. Yet each step, no matter how tentative, lays a foundation for something real. Your journey does not require grand gestures. It asks only that you notice where you feel alive and allow yourself to follow that feeling, even in small ways. The sense of direction you cultivate is not a straight line. It is a practice, a way of being with yourself that honors both your desire for change and your need for reassurance. The Chariot's energy is not about controlling every twist and turn, but about trusting your ability to meet what comes with presence and care. By the end of this week, you may find that the tension you began with has softened. The quiet rebellion inside you becomes a gentle confidence, the sense that you can hold both uncertainty and hope without losing your way. There is reassurance in this. You are not lost, Scorpio. You are in motion, even when the destination is unclear. The journey is yours to shape, one conscious step at a time. Actionable insights for Scorpio this week. Let your curiosity guide you, especially in moments that feel uncertain. Try giving a little more attention to a small task you might have overlooked. Notice when you feel most alive and allow yourself to linger there. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I notice the spark of something new within me. Each small effort brings me closer to myself. My direction becomes clearer as I move, not before. I trust the quiet strength that grows with each step. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.